physical space literature that has no physical body, like digital literature. One solution to this was to create our own physical body for a work and create our own work. And we were very inspired by, or at the time, about the concept of paratext, thinking of the library as a paratext to the actual work, which is normally in a book you would have a title and an author and something on the back of the book. This is all missing in digital literature, and when we present it in the library, we will create the paratext for the work that is actually defining how you will read it, how you will, in which frame of mind you will see it. So for this project we invested a lot of time, and we hired a scenographer and others to design an environment for literature. Unfortunately, we couldn't bring it, so this is just the basics of the installation. So with this piece, we wanted to create a paratext for literature, and so when the library gives body to a piece of digital literature, when we exhibit it, the librarian becomes a kind of a scenographer of literature, and has a new role and being much more active than before in presenting the work. So the work is designed to underline some of the characteristics of digital literature that we liked. One was reading as a social event. So there are 3 books you can interact with. Each book has its own title and its own content. You can compete with others about which text to use, or you can collaborate with others, or you can meet new people using the machine. The finished poem is also transmitted to a blog where it's all collected, and you can comment on it. So that's also a social element. We also wanted to engage the physical body of the user, as we wanted to use the physical space. So you have some movement, you need to move the book, you can't open it, you have to move it, and you need to put pressure on it. Another characteristic we wanted to underline was the playfulness of the interactive literature and motion as a rhetoric figure, that motion can create meaning in digital literature. It's an element you don't have in books. So we also wanted to protect the literary of the digital literature, because before this work we did a giant wall with a poetry wall where you could, with your body, create sentences. And that was very successful, but people didn't think of it as literature. They just played around and then they left, and we asked them, was it literature? No, was it? They didn't know. So we liked using the paratext, and so forth. We wanted them to think of it as literature. One way to do this is, in the end, I don't know if Sören has made a full poem yet, but in the end there will be, you will have a receipt, a library receipt with the poem on it. It will be printed out down there, and you can read it, take it with you, or you can put it on a bulletin board next to the installation. So this printing of the text, it gives room for a second reading, a second critical reading of the text, while the first reading being interacting with the machine. most users, they keep their poem, they read it, and they smile while they read it. So we take that as a compliment. So how has it been displayed, this machine? We started, the first place we presented it was at the largest rock festival in Denmark, where there are 100,000 people coming to hear rock music. But once in a while they want to have a break. So we had a poetry hall where we have had this poetry machine and other things, old books and stuff. And it was very popular. Then we have exhibited many places, many libraries. And after the project has finished, we had made a mobile version that we lent out for other libraries. So it's on tour in Danish libraries. They can book it for 5 weeks at a time, and it's booked until next year. That's why we have made a copy here. That's not the original one. It's booked, the original one, and it is in Danish.